Hey everybody, it's Jen from Farpoint Farms here. Today we're doing something a little bit different. It's kind of cold, windy, rainy outside, so I'm going to show you guys how I make my delicious stuffed jalapenos. Eric requests these at least once a week. Sometimes twice a month, 3 times a month, depending on what he is feeling like. So I'm going to go ahead and do some prep work and kind of show you what it looks like once it's all prepped, so you're not watching me go ahead and dice everything up. For this, we're going to need fresh jalapenos. I recommend getting the little bit larger ones. They're easier to handle and they're much easier to stuff. We've got some bacon there. You can use regular sliced bacon. I just happen to have thick sliced bacon. Cream cheese, garlic, because everything tastes better with garlic. We've got ourselves an onion over there. Parmesan cheese, which is optional depending on what type of cheese flavor you like. I've got some cheddar cheese there as well and some pepper. And I've got my gloves because sometimes those jalapenos are very, very hot. And once I start taking all the seeds out, I learned the lesson very, very quickly not to cut jalapenos without gloves and then try to take my contacts out. And that was a very, very painful experience. Let me go ahead and get some of this stuff prepped up and we'll go from there. Alright, here is the bacon, onion, and garlic chopped up. The onion, that's, I don't know, maybe a quarter of a cup, give or take. One of the problems when I do a lot of my cooking is I never really measure anything, so I do apologize if anybody's trying to follow along. The way my mom taught me how to cook was, I don't know, just kind of eyeball it. So this is going to be 2 slices of that bacon, and I've kind of got it dice chopped. And the reason I kind of chop it a little bit smaller is when I'm trying to go ahead and spoon it into the jalapenos, I found that bigger chunks just don't work as well. You could also cook the bacon in strips, and then when it's nice and crumbly, just go ahead and crumble it up and add to the mixture. It really is your personal preference. And that's just going to be 1 clove of garlic. You can add more or less depending on what your flavors are. Here are the jalapenos. I just cut mine in half, and I am going to go ahead and scoop out all this membrane and the seeds. The seeds in that white membrane are really where a lot of that heat is, so if you're really, really sensitive to heat, go ahead and get as much of that out. If you like a little bit of spiciness, just go ahead and take some of it out. That way all that filling can kind of go ahead and just sit in there. The other option that you have is you can actually hollow out these jalapenos, and they make racks where you can actually cook these on the grill. Today, because the weather is kind of cruddy, I'm just going to go ahead and put it in half and then cook it inside just because I don't want to be dealing with the pouring rain, the 20-mile-an-hour winds, and about 40 degrees outside, so not very pleasant out there. So the best thing to take this stuff out with, I just use just a small little paring knife. Some of you are probably going to cringe when you watch me go ahead and do this. You just have to be very comfortable in your knife handling skills to know that you're not going to cut yourself. And I'm just taking away a lot of that extra whiteness. Eric is not a huge fan of spicy foods, so I try to make them as mild as I can. As you see, once you scoop them out, they do get nice and clean. And all those things that I scooped out, the chickens absolutely love. So when I get done with this, I'm going to go down there and see if I can go ahead and kind of give them some treats. If I go down there with the scrap bowl, they see it and they literally come running because they know it's going to be a bunch of goodies for them. So here is all of them after I got done cleaning it. Again, I left a couple here just with a little bit more heat in there. I prefer a little bit spicier foods than Eric, so hopefully I can remember which ones they were and have those for myself. If not, it'll be for a very surprise for Eric. So I've got the bacon in here sauteing. I'm going to let the bacon cook for about a minute or 2 to kind of get pre-cooked before I add the onion. The onion is cut pretty small, so if I add it all at the same time, a lot of times the onion gets burnt before the bacon is cooked and it just does not taste very well. And I'm going to add the garlic once everything is just about completely cooked, because again, if you add the garlic too early, it just gets burned and it puts like a very bitter, just not a very pleasant taste. And I've got this cooking on like a medium-low heat, so again, I want to cook it, but I don't want to burn it. For the cream cheese, you can let it sit out on the counter, let it just become like room temperature so it softens up. I kind of planned poorly, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the microwave for probably about 30 seconds, just enough to kind of make it soft and pliable. Since once the bacon, onions, and garlic are all cooked, I'm going to mix it in and just get it thoroughly mixed. So here is the bacon. It's been cooking for about a minute or so. I'm going to go ahead and throw that onion in there and kind of get them both cooking at the same time. Now I'm just going to kind of cook these until the onions become kind of translucent and the bacon crisps up a little bit. Alright, at this stage I just added the garlic. I'm pretty sure you guys know that bacon, it goes from being undercooked to overcooked in a matter of just a few seconds. So it's about this stage when you want to go ahead and add it. So again, you don't want to burn it because otherwise it just leaves a very bitter taste. Here's the bacon, onion, and garlic mixture just mixed in with the cream cheese. Because the bacon is still nice and warm, if it's room temperature, your cream cheese, it'll kind of melt it and soften it to make it easier to go ahead and mix up. So here it is once it's all nice and cooked. I wish you guys had smell-o-vision out there, because this mixture combined just smells so delicious. There it is all mixed together. At this point you can add your Parmesan cheese, maybe about a tablespoon or so. Again, I really don't measure stuff with my recipes, I just kind of eyeball it. Or you can always put the Parmesan cheese on top of it once you fill your jalapenos. It really is personal preference. Another thing that I use this filling mixture for is I will take a skinless, boneless chicken breast. I will kind of butterfly it in half, and I'll stuff this on the inside and put cheese on the top of the chicken and bake it that way. That just makes a delicious filling for it. Here's your guys' kitchen hack to go with this recipe. You can either take that mixture and spoon it directly into the jalapenos, or you can take that mixture and put it into like a plastic Ziploc baggie, and you can use that as a piping bag. It's a whole lot cleaner, and if you do end up having a little bit left over, it's already in a bag ready to go for storage. So here is the mixture in the little baggie. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut that little corner off, just kind of snip it off, so that way I'm trying to spread it out. It will only come out that hole versus kind of popping all over the bag. Alright, might be hard to tell, but I've got the hole snipped right there. And when we're filling them, as you can see, it makes a nice controlled way of filling them up. I used to use a spoon, but it would make just a god-awful mess. And this is kind of my hack to get everything filled nice and neatly. And if you're doing a bunch of these, it goes by really, really fast because you're literally able to just kind of grab, spread it in, and then go on to the next one. Here they are all filled. I did top them with a little bit of cheddar cheese. That's completely optional. I just happen to have it, so I figured why not. And then I just cracked a little bit of some fresh ground pepper on top of it. Again, purely optional. I've also topped them before with like a smoked paprika, so if you want like a little bit extra smoky flavor, you can use regular paprika. It really is just personal preference. So while I was doing this, I preheated our oven to about 350 degrees. It just beeped a few seconds ago letting me know that it was ready. So I'm going to pop these in, and they're going to cook for maybe 20 minutes, give or take. I've never really timed it exactly. I just kind of look at it and see whenever the cheese is melty and the jalapenos look to be cooked. So let me go ahead and pop them in, and we'll see them in a few minutes. Here they are. I've got the timer set for 23 minutes. I'm going to come back after about 15 just to kind of see how they're progressing. And I will let you know how many minutes they were in there when I pull them out. And again, your oven might vary. If you cook them a little bit hotter, it might take a little bit less time. It just kind of varies. On the grill, I would say it would probably only take maybe 12 minutes just because grills do get a lot hotter than what this oven is going to be. So here they are about 10 minutes into cooking. From looking at it, they're probably going to take about another 10 minutes or so. And again, I'll let you know the exact cooking time of when I pulled them out to kind of give you a better reference of how long to cook them for. So here you go. This was 21 minutes in a 350 degree oven. As you can see, the cheese got nice and golden brown. God, they smell so good. I wish you guys could be here to smell this. Anyway, so that is my version of a stuffed jalapeno. If you guys have any questions, comments, or improved ideas that I can use the recipe for, feel free to put it in the comments below. And again, please like and subscribe.